The Beast at Kings Island is a coaster that people either love or they're kind of like or they actually hate the coaster. So today's video, I'm going to do a coaster review of the Beast roller coaster at Kings Island and talk about what it is, my personal thoughts on the coaster, and why people may actually dislike this coaster, why people may love it. All right, so let's get started. And so we're going to start with a little bit of background on the Beast. The Beast was opened in 1979 and it was developed in-house by Kings Island themselves. And at the time of opening, it held records for the tallest wooden roller coaster at 110 feet tall, the longest drop on a wooden roller coaster at 141 feet, the fastest at 64.8 miles an hour, and the longest track length on a wooden roller coaster at 7,359 feet. It still holds the track record for the longest track length of a wooden roller coaster at 7,359 feet. The rest of those records have been surpassed with time. So as of this year, the Beast will be 42 years old, which is pretty impressive. So talking about a little bit about the ride layout now. So the the train's going to make a 180-degree turn out of the station. And then you're going to start up the lift hill, and this is a very slow lift hill. And then once you get to the top, it actually plunges and goes down 135 feet into an underground tunnel. And then you make your way out of the tunnel, and then you're going to go a sharp left turn into an airtime hill. And then that airtime hill will have a 72-foot drop at a 32-degree angle. And then the train goes upward with the right turn, and it speeds into some brakes. And then once it's through the brakes, it turns to the right and continues through the woods. And then it'll go left and enter the second tunnel. And then once it exits the tunnel, it's going to gain a bunch of speed going right. Then takes another hard turn to the right. And then it's going to go downhill, then uphill, and then it's going to go up the second lift hill. So yeah, this coaster actually has two lift hills. And at the top of this lift hill, the train's going to go left, and then it's going to go down. It's only an 18-degree drop, but this is where the upcoming double helix is. And it's a highly banked turn to the left, and this drop is 141 foot. So this is actually longer than the first drop. And this is where at the bottom of this hill where you're going to reach that high speed, the highest speed, and like it is crazy. Like you can just feel yourself like going down that big hill, the second drop, and just like gaining so much speed. Then you fly through the tunnel, and then like I have my hands up, then I feel like I have to put them down because I feel like I'm gonna hit my hands. And then once you go through the double helix, which has two tunnels, then the train will reach to the brake run, the final brake run, and come back to the station. So that is the Beast layout. Okay, so next, just going to talk a little bit about how the ride experience, like how it feels. So I'll talk a little bit about how intense that double helix is. Yeah, when you're coming off of that second drop, off the second lift hill. Oh my goodness, like that is so intense. I think some people do great out, and that is by far where I feel like you're going the fastest on the ride. Definitely a highlight of the ride. Um, the first lift hill, it's very slow to go up for sure. And even the second lift hill is pretty slow, but you do have some momentum that makes it not as slow from going through the course. But so the ride itself, this is a coaster, and I know it does have an airtime hill in it. This is not an airtime coaster. And that's the big thing about this coaster, is it was never meant to be an airtime coaster. So getting into some of why I think people don't like it and more thoughts about it. So the big thing is, I think people go into this hearing about how great it is and they expect like an airtime machine. The Beast is not an airtime machine. You may get a little bit of airtime, probably not going to get much at all, if any, with like Beast, because it was not built to be that. And that is, I think, the number one thing that people maybe have an issue with the Beast, because it's not that. It's built to be a speed and terrain coaster. This coaster was built into the terrain, and it's built for speed and the intense helixes. That is what this coaster was built for. So and then its predecessor, Son of Beast, was also built to be that not terrain coaster, but more of the speed and intense coaster. So this is going to be more like the lines of, say, let's take the B&M Giga Fury 325. Definitely built to be an airtime machine. And then take Intimidator 305. Intimidator 305 was not built for airtime. It was built for that intensity. And this is what the Beast was built for. Okay, and then another knock people do put on the Beast is roughness. So the coaster is 42 years old this year in 2021. It's a wooden coaster, and they have done a really great job of maintaining this. However, it's 42 years old and it's wood. It's not going to be glossy smooth. This is not going to be Mystic Timbers. Mystic Timbers is going to be that airtime machine, and it's going to be super, super smooth. If you're looking for that, you're going to be disappointed when riding the Beast, because it's not that. Well, with that being said, if you do want a smoother ride on this, definitely ride in the front or the middle. The front is by far the best. Riding in the back is just going to make it rougher, and it's not going to give you any more airtime from riding in the back. There's no benefit to me on this coaster of riding in the back. And another thing about the Beast is it gives, like, in my personal opinion, the best night ride of any coaster anywhere I've ever rode, because it's such a terrain coaster. It is so far out. Like, good luck ever filming, like, off-ride footage of this coaster, because it's, like, impossible. Because it is so far into the woods. But I think that's what makes it neat. Like, you're literally in pitch blackness. Especially if the moon isn't out that night, you can't see anything in dark. So the Beast really shines in the night. So with that being said, my personal thoughts and opinions on the Beast. So, being that Kings Island is my home Cedar Fair park, and I grew up with this coaster, I absolutely love the Beast. It's not my favorite coaster in the park. That honor would go to Diamondback. Um, or possibly Orion. I haven't really decided for sure on that. So it's not my favorite coaster in the park, but it's definitely top 3, top 4 for coaster in the park. It's not my favorite wooden coaster either. But it's definitely my top 10, 15 wooden coasters. And personally, I mean, if I rode in the back, this coaster is going to be unbearably rough. Like, I tried it one time and it was terrible. I even rode the middle back and it was terrible. So I always try to go as close to the front as possible. And then it's still rough, but it's not unbearable. But riding in the back, oh gosh, no, it's unbearably rough. Not gonna lie. So that is a drawback on it. I think the intensity of it, and then, as I said, that night ride is what really pushes this coaster up my list. It's uncomparable, and it being so intense, especially that point at that helix at the bottom of the second lift hill in particular. You just cannot beat that moment of intensity for sure. Yeah, with that being said, again, I really love the Beast. It's a great ride. But again, if you come into it expecting a smooth airtime machine, You're not going to get that. This is not the coaster for you to experience that. So I think knowing what the Beast is and its purpose helps a lot. So you're not disappointing or you have unrealistic expectations. And then definitely don't write it in the back. Just don't. Um, so I think people give it an unfair rap without actually realizing what it is, what it was built for, its age, and other factors. So yeah, definitely. This is a great coaster, in my opinion, and it does not deserve some of the hate that it does get. But with that being said, this does conclude my in-depth ride review on the Beast at Kings Island. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please like this video. You can leave me a comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe, and that helps me get more content out to you guys. Thanks so much.